Hello BookTube, and welcome to the continuation of my 2020 library tour. Today we're going to be doing the second shelf of my headboard bookcase, or generally assorted fiction. So this shelf is just a smorgasbord of mass market paperbacks that I have here, largely to keep my head from going into the headboard while I'm asleep, because it's quite painful. It's happened to me a few times. But anyway, so first up is Wilkie Collins' The Moonstone. One of my favorite Victorian novels. Picked this copy up from Golden's Book Exchange, about 10 years or so ago, and really enjoyed it. Last read it, not this past Victober, but the Victober before. Next is The Night Manager by John le Carré. I picked this up from the Friends of the Library Book Nook at Westwaco Library and Genealogy Center. Haven't gotten around to it yet. Next is Peril at End House by Agatha Christie. So, about a year or so ago, I wanted to get this omnibus, and I ordered it, but I ended up getting this instead. So I basically got a refund and this book for free. And I've been wanting to unhaul it since it is a double, and I don't particularly care for doubles, and I'm not entirely fond of this particular cover. Next is The Three Musketeers by Alexandre Dumas. Picked this up at the Library Sale Nook 2. Two more I picked up from the Sale Nook are Dr. No by Ian Fleming. I want another omnibus edition. I really do not like this cover. I would like a new edition of it. Obviously, I already have 5 novels in one bind-up, and there was, about 20 plus years ago, Barnes & Noble had an edition of Ian Fleming's Bond books out, including at least 2 omnibus editions. One that had Dr. No, From Russia with Love, and Goldfinger, and then another one that had the Blofeld trilogy or Spectre trilogy with Thunderball, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, and You Only Live Twice. And I kind of want that edition, but for now, this will do. And I also have Thunderball in this edition. And next is The Complete Plays of Christopher Marlowe in a beaten up Penguin edition. This book was published in, 1969. Now, whether or not it came out a few years afterwards, I don't know, but it's been brutalized. I picked this up in San Francisco. I don't remember if it was at the book sale room or like the graduate students group did it. Which one of those I picked up at. Then I have The Picture of Dorian Gray and Other Writings by Oscar Wilde. I had an edition with just the picture of Dorian Gray, which was really nice, and I wish I still had that edition, but I don't. I have this one. Picked it up from Book People. Next is Hickory Dickory Dock by Agatha Christie. This is another one of my favorite Poirot novels. And then I have Watership Down by Richard Adams. This I picked up from the library Sell Nook. And then there's The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket by Edgar Allan Poe, which is a really good book. I quite enjoyed it. I bought it for an American Lit class in college. Then there's Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. I want to say this has all of the, it has Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Through the Looking Glass, and The Hunting of the Snark. I'm wanting to say I probably picked this up for a Victorian Lit class, but I don't remember. And then there is The Iron King by Maurice Druon. This is one of the historical fiction novels that inspired Game of Thrones A Song of Ice and Fire by George R. R. Martin. And then there's Lady Audley's Secret by Mary Elizabeth Braddon. I read this book ages ago. It was for a Victorian Lit class, and it was okay, but not necessarily my favorite. And I've been meaning to unhaul it for ages, but I've never gotten around to it. And unfortunately, I've marked on it, so I don't know exactly how much credit I'd get anywhere. Next up is two rather interesting books. Boy Kim by Sam Stevens. I've had this book forever. So it's basically a gay porn version of Big Brother. And let's leave it at that. I picked this up, I was like a senior in high school. I picked that up. And then I have a boy band, again by Sam Stevens. It's basically, boy band, gay porn. And then There Were None by Agatha Christie. I've had this for a while, but since I've gotten the omnibus, I've been meaning to get rid of it. And then we have some more literary gay porn. The Moon's Deep Circle by David Hawley. I picked this up, it's been about 5 years or so. It's about three brothers, one significantly younger than the others, who, when he's a senior in high school, he finally manages to break into his older brother's room. They've been missing for a decade or more. And what he finds is that they were members of a cult. And he uses his oldest brother's diaries to realize that he himself is gay, and then he gets involved with several other swimmers on his swim team. Anyway, I'm not entirely sure if it's supposed to be taken seriously or if it's a parody. And then there is Brad by Ken Smith. This is about a farm boy who basically gets into all sorts of sexy situations. And then we have Agatha Christie's Sleeping Murder, which I've never been able to find in a one of the omnibus editions. So I have this edition. A few years ago, I did the whole of Miss Marple, and this is the only one I have that's not in an omnibus edition. Quite enjoyed it. And now we have some science fiction and fantasy. Because when I rearranged my room, I had no space for this, or like basically half of this shelf was empty, so I'm like, okay, put some mass market paperbacks here. First, we have The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I've tried to read this book twice, and I've failed twice. So, anyway. And then there is Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. And then I have a series by Peter Reed Brett, The Warded Man. The Desert Spear. The Daylight War. The Skull Throne. The Core. I want to say one of these has, oh, I think it's that one. If you got the hardcover edition, it was kind of interesting looking. And then I have two by Jim Butcher, Stormfront, which I've never actually been able to get into, and Grave Peril. Then I have the first three books in a tetralogy by Robert E. Vardaman and Victor Milan. It's called The War of Powers. So, The Sundered Realm. Surprisingly published by Playboy. The Destiny Stone. And The City in the Glacier. There's a fourth book that I didn't pick up, and when I read The Sundered Realm, I did not like it too much. So, anyway. Next, I have The Wastelands, The Dark Tower 3 by Stephen King. Wizard and Glass, The Dark Tower 4. And The Drawing of the Three, the second book in the Dark Tower series. And I also have The Gunslinger somewhere else. The Gunslinger is in a different edition than these three are. Picked them up from Golden's a few years ago. And then I have 3 books by Lynn Carter. The Black Star, The Enchantress of World's End, and The Warrior of World's End. So that was the second Headboard bookshelf, and it's assorted fiction. Anyway, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with this shelf. I mean, I've mentioned several times that I would like to get back into manga, and this headboard or this shelf would be perfect for that, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I do want to keep this shelf full so it can protect my head while I'm sleeping, but I could also try to fill it with pillows or something. we shall see. Check back in 2021 and we'll see what I've done with it. Anyway, BookTube, I have a tag video I would like to do, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this video short, and I will be back soon. Thank you, have a great afternoon, and please stay safe.